Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Table Talk with Zach and Carly. This is episode 5,
Cheers!
Marrying Your Best Friend. So today we're going to talk about, what it means to be married to your best friend, what it means to be a best friend, and why it's important to be that best friend for your spouse through your relationship, and really understanding what that exactly means, right? I know we all have, best friends that are maybe outside the marriage or people we consider, the best man at our wedding, maid of honor, those kind of people. And when you're being best friends with your spouse, it looks a lot like those relationships. When it comes to communication, openness, and really just being honest with each other. So today we're going to talk about that.
And today we're going to be talking about marrying your best friend. What it means, what it looks like, all of it. So if you really think about what a best friend is, it's not, as enlightening as, oh, my best friend, we do this and we do that and we're this and we're that and we're this and we're that. It's so much deeper than that, because when you look at a real best friend, in your life or your spouse, you're looking at someone who really gives you all aspects of a conversation, of a view. They're there as a sounding board. They're there as, your mentor. They're there to support you. But they're also there to really, give you that other perspective. Like I said, be a sounding board. That doesn't always mean that they are going to agree with what you're saying and say, yeah, go for it. It means that they are there to sometimes kind of reel you back in, like, whoa, okay, let's take this step by step. Let's talk about it. Because in reality, a best friend isn't someone who just gives and gives and gives and okay, great. They are there to be there for you. Whether you agree with them or not, that's what a real best friend is. Someone who can give you both sides, give you both perspectives, and be that person to rely on.
So, they're there as a sounding board, like she said, and to reel you back in. When we talk about that, what does that look like? It means sometimes holding them accountable to their own words. Hold them accountable to what they said they were going to do. Hold them accountable to their goals and ambitions, right? We talked about supporting your spouse. Holding them accountable to what they... think about those conversations you've had with those people. There's a lot of great times in there, but hey, there's a lot of times where they, snatch you up by the collar and say, you're screwing up, man. Like, you need to chill out. And you make it through it, right? There's no resentment. There's no... just stop me, this and that. There's no, this is what I need you to support what I'm doing. You have that trust, you have that love, right? Because, with best friends, even maybe outside of marriage, there is a form of love there, right? There's a compassion and love. You just understand that they're doing what's best for you. And that's a big part of marriage, is understanding that the person loves you and they're always going to have your best interest in mind, regardless if you think it may be that way, or you're really setting your ways on something, a way of thinking, or, whatever that may be. They're always going to have, you in the front of their mind when they're making that decision or communicating.
So, with what Zach is saying, we're not necessarily talking about, not supporting one another, which we covered last week, but we're basically saying, a best friend really takes the time to slow you down, make sure you're understanding all of the repercussions, the aspects, and give you that outside view and say, maybe it's not the best idea, maybe it's not the right time, whatever it might be. So we're not saying that, in a marriage, your best friend isn't supporting you, because like I said, we covered that last week. A true best friend in a marriage is going to be able to look at you, give that honest feedback, and then you continue to grow. There is no resentment, there's no anger, it's just acceptance, and let's move forward.
Being a soundboard and being their support, but also being that voice of reason, being the checks and balances in some of the decision making or emotions. It doesn't mean you're not supporting them. Just you're being who they need, just naturally because you care about them, and you're seeing it from a different view. But being married to your best friend is more than that as well, right? We always want to talk about the development piece of it, but being best friends is being able to sit in silence and stare at the ceiling together. It's being able to sit outside around a fire with 3 screaming kids and just still being able to relax. It's being able to go on vacation for a week, and not kill each other, right? And make every moment better than the last. And even if you're not doing anything extravagant, laying in the resort hotel room, watching TV, sitting on the deck, taking pictures, drinking wine, laying on the beach, tanning, going snorkeling, reading books together, whatever it is, right? Being best friends is about sharing your life with someone and being able to do anything with them, wanting to do everything with them.
So, like Zach said, it is about the growth, but at the same time, it's those simple moments that allow you to be yourself completely, to be accepted by that person completely, to enjoy the silence, to enjoy the good times, the bad times, have that open communication, and know at the end of it, you're still going to have one another.
At the end of the day, it all should be fun. It doesn't mean it's not all going to be work, won't be work, right? You always got to put that work in, right? A relationship always takes, 100% of both people to make it work. But being best friends is really important in a marriage, because sometimes I don't need a wife, I don't need a spouse, I need a friend, right? I don't need someone that needs me. I just need someone to talk to. I need someone to vent to. I need someone to listen to my rambling nonsense about whatever it is, right? I live in a house with, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and my wife in a city that I don't really know anybody in because we just moved here. Who am I going to talk to sports about, right? Hey, you don't need to say anything. Just listen to me ramble about LeBron for the next 20 minutes, all right? I think that's one thing that always made it easy for us is, I never felt uncomfortable around her. I talked to her about anything, anytime, ever.
So, really being a best friend, marrying your best friend, it really does come down to, are you going to want to spend the rest of your life with this person? Can you live the rest of your life with this person? And finally, can you live without them? A best friend, you really can't. I mean, it's someone you rely on religiously. And in a marriage, that is, so important because you literally are giving the rest of your life to them. You're deciding to make that commitment and be there for that person through thick and thin, bad times, good times, whatever. So having that best friend aspect in it is really so important. It's so essential to, have that person by your side and know that at the end of the day, they are your best friend and you can talk about, do anything with, whatever. That's what marrying your best friend really is.
I think the most important part about marrying your best friend and being best friends is when you have those tough times. When you have the tough times, when you have the tough conversations, when things aren't all hunky-dory and beautiful and perfect. Because being best friends is what's going to force you to talk. Because when you're not feeling the greatest and you need someone to talk to, she's who I want to talk to. Right? So, but if we do have a disagreement that, gets a little escalated and feelings get, touched here and there, hey, I still want to talk to her.
Okay, guys, so that wraps us up for episode 5 of Table Talk with Zach and Carly. Cheers! Marrying your best friend. We really, really encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, and share because it's so important to us that we are getting the message out to someone that it might help. Obviously, you know, the whole point is to put our story out there and share it with others. So if you know someone, or maybe you are married to your best friend and you're like, wow, this is super relatable, or you know, you're in a relationship, you want to share it, you have a best friend that you want to share it with, please share it. We challenge you to
Share it with at least one person.
share it
right?
with at least
One person.
one person. And you know, get those feelings out there, have that conversation, and then comment down below, you know, your thoughts on what you want to see next time or in the future, whatever. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, because as always, we enjoy making it. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.